If there's one piece of advice that I could give to people just starting out in their wrestling career, or even people that have been in it for a while, one thing to make sure of is before you become an old man like me and are unable to do the things that we all enjoy so much and participate in the business we love so much, the one thing you want to make sure of is every step of the way, always enjoy the story you're telling. Titles are cool. Titles are a lot of fun, winning belts and stuff. But trust me, when all is said and done, a lot of your fondest memories are going to be of those moments where you told a really, really good story for the people that paid money to come and watch you tell that story. Now, of course, I have my own specific story I want to tell you guys to illustrate this and why I know that it's so important to, stop and smell those roses of storytelling as you go along. Let me just touch on one thing quick. I know I had said that we would put these wrestling videos over on my Curtis Candy channel, but in the live stream the other day, the gang was saying no, they'd like to keep them here. They encouraged me to keep them here, so we will. We'll keep them here. And I intersplice these with pics and videos of my own wrestling career. Someday I'll have a lot more videos for you. I have a ton of them on VHS. I just got to dig them out and then find a converter, and hopefully I'll be able to get you guys a significant amount more footage. Okay, when I get asked about my favorite moments in wrestling, there's several, a bunch that really stick out for me, but none any more so than the time when we were working this house in Vermont, and it was a monthly stop, and I was playing the hardcore heel, over the top heel. One night I came out to do my match, and my buddy Todd was refereeing, and he knew I was going to go after the crowd. Well, apparently this guy in the front row, skinny dude, probably well into his 40s, just came in out of the hills. This was in the backwoods of Vermont. And Todd says to me, "Go get that guy in the blue shirt." Apparently he'd been annoying him or something. So I went over and I worked him pretty hard on the mic. Well, every month when we would come back there, this guy and his wife would be in those same exact seats. Why that's important is there was not assigned seating in this. It was just general seating. So they were getting there first every month for them to have gotten those exact same seats. They were there really early. They were into this, and they were buying whatever. If you were willing to tell them a good story, they were going to get wrapped up in it. And I was never as vicious to anybody in my career as I was to this poor bastard. And we had a tournament going for the Fed champion. So I was winning every month because I was going to be in the finals against my buddy Mike eventually. But I would come out every month and I would rip on him. And I mean vicious. Not on the mic, because some of the stuff you couldn't say in front of kids. I was ripping on him, on his rather plus-sized wife next to him. I would make fun of his kids. Didn't even know if he had any. Found out later that he did. I would rip on them. I would make fun of the teeth he was missing and what I thought he could do for me with those missing teeth and everything. I just hammered him. And so many times I'd be right in his face. And I know he wanted to hit me so bad. The guy was like maybe 130 pounds, just a really skinny dude. And to be perfectly honest, if he'd have hit me, I'd have understood it. I wouldn't have had him removed or anything. I know that's a taboo thing, but come on. I was pushing it to extremes. If he'd have hit me, I would have used it as another reason to mock him, but I wouldn't have had him removed. He never did, but that dude hated me. So finally, we get to the finals of this tournament. And as I said, it's me against my buddy Mike. And so we are setting things up beforehand, and we got with the promoter. His name was Bumpy Latham. And Bumpy was also Mike's manager. And so we're in the back, and Bumpy says, "Well, we'll flip a coin to see who takes the belt." I said, "No, we're not." I said, "That's crazy." I said, "Let Mike take the belt. I've been coming up here every month. This was a long tournament. These people despise me. I'm vicious to them. And every month I'm beating up their favorites. It's, you got to pay them off. They got to get a chance to see me get mine." So I said, "No, put Mike over, and I'm going to put a bunch of chair shots in and everything. I'm going to have him obliterate me, just beat me down." And so that's what we did. Match went off fine. Matches with Mike always did. I took a horrific beating. We got all done and I rolled out, and I remember thinking, oh crap, this guy was enjoying me losing, but he was always seated. As we came into the ring, he was on the other side, the direct other side. I rolled out to the ramp side, or to the entrance side. I wanted to pay him off specifically, and I'm like, crap, I'm way over here. How do I work my way over there and do something to at least, pay this guy back? This is what the storytelling is. And it just so happened the perfect opportunity arose, because my manager, Kenny, as I'm standing there thinking of what to do, he comes up to me and he says, dude, I don't want to take the cane shot from Bumpy. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? I have no idea what's going on. He said, well, at the end of the match, right now, I'm supposed to get hit with, my buddy Mike used to bring a kendo stick into the ring. He said, I'm supposed to get hit with the kendo stick by Bumpy, and everybody knew Bumpy was stiff. He didn't know what he was doing, so he was really stiff. I said, okay, I gotcha. And it worked out perfect for me. So I jump up on the apron, pretend like I'm yelling at them. I get the referee over, and I told the ref, I said, tell Bumpy after we jaw to come into the ring and hit me on the head with that kendo stick as hard as he can. So he delivered it. I get up on the ring. We sold it. I'm screaming at Bumpy. I said, don't you dare come into this ring. You walk into this ring and you're in my world. You do not have a hair on your ball sack to get into this ring and hit me with that cane, because I will take you to a whole new world of pain. This guy, the guy I'd been torturing, I swear to you guys, he was standing on his seat screaming, hit him, please hit him. He was like desperate. So we did. I went in, I fed Bumpy my head, and he just annihilated me with that kendo stick. So as soon as I took it, I went down, and I was sold it big, and I rolled out right in front of my boy, the man I had been torturing so much, and I paid him big. I rolled around on the ground, and I was almost in tears. I'm like, I'm really hurt. And he's laughing, of course. He's hysterically happy. I said, why are you laughing at me? How can you laugh? I'm hurt. I got to go to the hospital. What's wrong with you? How can you laugh? I'm hurt bad. And the more I fed him, the more he was, you could just see the pure joy in his face. He's going, good. You got what you deserve, you asshole. And I, like I say, I sold it to death. I was having such a good time. It was so fun paying him off. And again, I made Kenny come over and help me up, and I'm telling Kenny, I'm going, why is he laughing at me? Why are these people laughing at me? Don't they know I'm hurt? This could be serious. This could be long lasting. And he just ate it up. Guys, telling the story is what wrestling is all about. Titles are cool. Doing, your best flippity flops is cool. Doing your biggest move is cool, but that's all part of the storytelling. When you tell a great story, that's what makes this business fun. That guy, they didn't have, this guy I was torturing, he didn't have much money. You could tell they were right from the hills. I'm sure they had to budget those few bucks every month to go see that show. And he got what he deserved. He got his story. At the end of the story, the rotten, vicious, nasty bully is on the ground crying like a little bitch. There's nothing better than telling a story like that, and it was one of my all-time favorite nights in the business. Never forget, those people out there, no matter when you're working the indies, or if you're working the indies, or if you're working the WWE, there are people out there that probably made some sacrifices, who are huge wrestling fans, made financial sacrifices to watch your match, to watch you wrestle. And when I was working, I don't care if 5 people showed up. I'm not changing my match. I'm not taking anything down, because those 5 people paid money to come see me do what I do. And what I did was violence. Don't forget that. When you make it to the WWE someday and you're playing in front of 20,000 people, there's somebody in that crowd who probably had to work a second job to have the extra money to bring his kids to that show. Or maybe there's a single mom who has a couple sons, or has a son and friends who love wrestling. She doesn't like it, but she brought them there for them to have an experience. Pay them off. That's what's fun about it. It's not an obligation. It's a joy. Never forget the people who are watching you and pay them with everything you got. Tell them a great story. It'll be some of the best memories you'll ever have in this business.